It's obvious that if an engine is to run, it has to have fuel. There's more to it, though, than just pouring the stuff in the tank. It's essential that the fuel supplied to the engine is scrupulously clean. So the fuel first passes through a filter and water trap. Its job is to remove the worst of the water and dirt from the fuel before it reaches the engine itself. Any water or sludge which collects in the bottom of the filter bowl can be drained off easily, generally without interfering with the rest of the fuel system. From the water trap, the fuel then passes to the lift pump. This is usually a simple diaphragm pump like a miniature bilge pump. It's driven by the engine to ensure a plentiful flow of fuel to the rest of the system. From the lift pump, the fuel has to pass through another filter to remove even microscopic particles of dirt before it reaches what could be called the heart of a diesel engine, the injection pump. The injection pump has to pressurize the fuel to as much as 2,000 pounds per square inch in order to spray it into the cylinders via the injectors. It must also ensure that each cylinder receives exactly the right amount of fuel at exactly the right moment. That's why cleanliness is so important. It may look rugged, but the injection pump is a very high-precision machine indeed. Injection pumps aren't all alike. This jerk pump looks very different, but it does just the same job and deserves just as much respect. Whichever type you have, it's important to appreciate that there's nothing you can do to the injection pump. Repairs and maintenance are a highly specialized job. The injection pump has broken up the flow of fuel into very short, high-pressure squirts. Now it's up to the injectors to spray the fuel into the cylinders. Most of each injector is hidden in the cylinder head. This is an injector from a ship's engine. Yours will probably be this size. But the principle is the same. The injector body is basically a tube with a spring-loaded needle valve sealing off the fine holes that produce the spray pattern. Another type, called a pintle, produces a cone-shaped spray of fuel. As the pressure of fuel rises, it overcomes the resistance of the spring and lifts the valve so that fuel can spray into the cylinder. Of course, as soon as the fuel leaves the injector, the pressure inside drops. So the spring snaps the needle valve back onto its seat. Some of the fuel is used as lubrication inside the injector body, and then returned to the tank via the leak-off line. On some injector pumps, a similar leak-off line returns to the tank, shown here on our graphic.